I've been self-publishing on Amazon KDP for over 5 years now, generated almost $1 million of book sales, and spent thousands of hours learning exactly how the process works and how you can be successful with this business. So in this video, I'm going to take all of those hours of experience, all of those failures, all of those successes, and condense it into 5 of the most important lessons I've learned on my entire Amazon KDP journey to help you on yours. So key lesson number 1, niche research is so important. Now, so many people think because we're creating books on Amazon KDP, the actual book itself is the most important part. Couldn't be any further from the truth. Niche research is by far the most important part of any Amazon KDP business. And that's because it allows you to ensure that you're only creating books that people will actually buy from you. There is no point creating this book that you think is great, putting it on Amazon and then being like, why is no one buying it? Because no one was ever interested in it in the first place. Niche research is what allows you to know that everything you're producing is actually in demand from an audience that actually wants it. And when it comes to niche research, you need to focus on 2 things: demand from the consumers and the competition from other publishers. Now, ideally, the best niches have really high demand from consumers, but very low competition. But generally, there's always have to be a balance that you need to strike out somewhere between demand and competition. And with that in mind, I would always say demand is more important than competition, because ultimately, if there is so much demand, despite there being a lot of competition, if there is enough demand, there is always more space to be successful. If you look at some really popular KDP niches, things like unicorn coloring books, there is so many books out there, yet there are so many that are still performing incredibly well just because the demand is so high. Ideally, high demand, low competition, but if you had to choose one to be high, I would definitely always follow demand, make sure that is high. So in order to figure out this balance, and if you've got it in terms of your niche, there are 3 questions that you need to ask yourself. Number 1, are current books in the niche or similar niches doing well? Because this is your proof of concept. If there are similar books already doing well on Amazon, that shows that there is demand for a book like this. If loads of other books like yours or very similar ones to yours are currently on Amazon, but they're not selling well at all, that just shows that there isn't demand for this book idea that you have. Now, secondly, you then want to weigh that up with how much competition are there around certain keywords. So type in the main keywords around a given niche. So if it's a animal coloring book, your main keywords are going to be coloring book about animals or animal coloring book for kids, those kind of things. How much competition are there when you search for those individual keywords? Because ultimately, when it comes to assessing niche competition, you need to see how many of related keywords in that niche are currently being ranked for by your competitors. And that ties nicely into the 3rd question you need to ask yourself is, what's the balance between keyword competition and demand? Because if loads of your competitors are ranking for a certain keyword, that's generally a bad thing. But if, again, demand is just so high for that certain keyword, then that's going to be okay. So there is no kind of hard and fast rule of, there needs to be X number of books ranking for a keyword, because it all depends on this balance between demand and competition. Which is why I always recommend the Self-Publishing Titans web app. I will leave a link to this down below in the description if you want to access it. The reason why I think it is the best tool out there is because it has this opportunity score. And this opportunity score literally combines this balance between the 2 metrics of competition and demand, and literally just gives you a super easy score based off 1 to 9 off that. So essentially, if there is loads of competition for a keyword, but demand is also super high and way exceeding the amount of competition, it would have a high opportunity score. So looking specifically at numbers when it comes to competition and demand isn't necessarily that valuable. It's the combination of the 2 of them together, which is why this opportunity score is so valuable and why I recommend this. And like I say, I'll leave this link down below in the description. It's the tool I use. It's a tool I promote in pretty much every single one of my videos, and there is a reason for that. Now, key learning number 2, book brands will make you rich. Creating book brands on Amazon KDP is by far the fastest way to get rich. Most people on Amazon KDP simply create one-off books and just see how many sales each of their individual books will make. Let's say they make an animal coloring book and then they'll make a, sea life word search. These books have nothing to do with each other, but they're just publishing loads of these individual books. These people are always going to be making a small amount of money when it comes to KDP because they're not utilizing what we call lifetime customer value. But the best sellers focus on book brands and focus on this lifetime customer value, and they therefore understand the idea of keeping customers in their ecosystem. So they're producing books within brands that build this lifetime customer value, because if you have 3 individual books in a similar niche, all with the same branding on the front, so you know straight away this is in the same brand as these other 2 books. You only need to sell one of these because if the customer enjoys it, they know you have a brand, they're going to come back and buy the second one, and they're going to come back and buy the third one. So you've got 3 sales for the price of 1. So anyone who just creates one-off books, like I say here, is only ever going to get 1 sale from this. They're going to enjoy your book and then go ahead and buy a competitor's book. If you have a brand, you make that initial sale and then you keep these people in your ecosystem and you're literally tripling, quadrupling, however many books you have in your brand, your income from just 1 sale. So here is an example of this. Look at these 2 books here. Which one do you think is selling more? Based on the book cover, I would definitely suggest that this one is more successful than this one because I think this is a much better book cover. However, as you can see, although this book is still selling well, this one is absolutely smashing it out the park. The 646th best-selling book on Amazon US, which is crazy amounts of numbers of units sold every single month. And the reason why this is so successful is because it's part of a brand. So with this one, in order for this one to be successful, customers have to buy this specific book. But for this one, if they buy any of these other 2 books and they really enjoy them, because they know it's so obvious looking at these are part of the same brand, it's consistent fonts, it's consistent formatting, just different colors and a little bit of different text. If someone enjoys any of these 3 books, they're going to go back to this book brand and probably buy this one and buy the other one. So let's say they started out with this one. This is the first book they bought. They really enjoyed it. They thought, actually, let me go back to Lomic Books, the brand here, and see what other books they have. They're then going to go ahead and buy this one and they're going to enjoy it and they're going to go ahead and buy this one. 3 sales for the price of 1. And this is why book brands are just so valuable. Again, treat KDP like a business, not just producing books, and this is how you operate it as a business. Now, I do have dedicated videos in my Self-Publishing Accelerator school community, which I will leave linked down below in the description, showing you exactly how you can build book brands like this to life and show you the things you need to do in order to build a successful book brand. So if you want to check that out, like I say, that will be linked down below in the description. But going back to this idea of the book brands, in order to build a book brand, there are a couple of things you need to have. You need to have consistent cover designs and branding on the book. So maybe a logo, as you can see here. I wouldn't say it's necessarily branding, but you know it's Lomic Books. This is their brand. The minute you pick it up, you know that it's part of something bigger than just an individual book. So of course, you need to have consistent designs, branding on the book, and also ideally capture emails for an email list. And this is one of the videos I have in my school community showing you how to build an email list for your books because it is incredibly valuable when it comes to building book brands. And using a lead magnet in your book via a QR code is the best way to build these email lists. So let's just say you're taking this one as an example. If they had a QR code in the front of their book that basically just said, here's some extra memory activities that you can use, scan the QR code, someone puts their email in, they get access to these activities. The seller of this book has then just got the email of people who have already bought one of their books. So let's just say 10,000 people bought one of their books and only 10 and a really conservative number of 10% of them sign up for their email list. This means they've got 1,000 emails of people that enjoyed book number 1 that they can then retarget when book number 2 comes out. So you've got 1,000 emails. The minute you release book number 2, that is 1,000 easy sales of your book number 2, which not only boosts it high in the algorithm, you can also ask for reviews, which is massively beneficial too. So building book brands are the difference between the good Amazon KDP publishers and the great Amazon KDP publishers. Key learning number 3, invest in your education. All shocked, the person that sells KDP coaching is telling you to invest in their education. But honestly, it is one of the best things that you can do. I wasn't able to have anything to invest in when I first started KDP because there wasn't anybody doing that. But if I had, I absolutely would have done, and it would have saved me thousands of hours. And the reason why this is so good for KDP is because as a business model, KDP is print on demand. Amazon KDP is completely free to start, which is unlike almost every other e-commerce business where you need to put £1,000 into stock or all of these things you need to subscribe for just to actually launch your business. Amazon KDP is completely free to start. And therefore you already have a head start on all of these other businesses. So rather than just spending no money, spend that money that you would have had to spend just to get started on another business, on your education and learning from an expert. Because if you want to be successful with KDP and you literally have the opportunity to learn directly from someone who has literally walked that path, that is honestly invaluable. Now, I touched on this a second ago, but when I started, there really weren't any courses on Amazon KDP. So I honestly invested well over 1,000 hours before I even properly understood how to actually play the Amazon KDP game and make it successful. And even after 1,000 hours, just think how long that actually is. I still had so much to learn. I lost time, I lost money, had a ridiculous amount of stress, just trying to figure out how to do everything properly, and still, like I say, had so much to learn. Whereas if I could just invest in someone exactly like myself today, I would avoid all of these mistakes I'd previously made. It would have saved me money, and it would have saved me so much time, and crucially, it would have saved me a lot of stress, and I'd have built my KDP business so much quicker. Because if you invest in me, I can literally tell you, make sure you're not doing that. That's a complete waste of time. Make sure you're only focusing on this. That honestly is so invaluable. So investing in coaching from someone that has been there and done it will benefit you in more ways than you can even imagine. Of course, it's a shameless plug, but I'm only saying it because it is genuinely just so true. And the same goes for investing in KDP software. Anything that just makes your life so much easier and makes this journey quicker because you're leveraging your money rather than just your time and your effort is the most important thing. Education by far is the most important, and then investing in tools as well can help you on that process. Now, lesson number 4, publishing is just the start. It's no longer as simple as uploading a book to Amazon KDP and leaving it to make you loads of money, like you could do when I very first started way back in 2019. Amazon ads, getting reviews in your books, and creating Amazon A+ content have gone from being a nice to have to being absolutely essential in allowing your book to stand out amongst competition. So it's not as simple uploading your book, leaving it and cashing your check in every day. You need to be consistently doing work after the book is published, and therefore publishing the book itself is just the start. Now, I've highlighted here Amazon ads, getting reviews, and also A+ content are absolutely crucial. Let's break all of these down. The goal of Amazon ads, let's just start with this one. The only goal of that is to get people to click into your book listing. That is it. They think Amazon ads are all about converting customers from potential buyers into actual buyers. Yes, that's technically true, but the only goal of Amazon ads is to get people to see your book on the search results and click into it. The rest of the work is taken care of by your reviews and your A+ content. And then once they're on your listing, it's the job of the A+ content and the reviews to convert them from the book listing to their basket. A+ content makes your book look so much more professional. Reviews just builds that trust with your potential customers. Now, the best place to get reviews on your books is Pubbie, but once your book is selling well, reviews will come in naturally. Pubbie is only to be used at the start when you just want to get those initial reviews. And I have a full tutorial on how to use Pubbie in my Accelerator School community. And then with A+ content, like I say, it's all about looking professional and building that trust as well as the reviews to get people to go from your book listing, checking it out and adding it to their basket, and then becoming actual book customers. So in short, publishing is just the start. You need to be actively working on your book after it's published. So Amazon ads take customers from the search result into your book listing. A+ content and reviews take them from your book listing to a paying customer. And finally, a really important message to finish off is this is a long-term business. It is very unlikely that you will be successful on Amazon KDP overnight. Even with all my experience, all of my proven track record on Amazon KDP, if I was to start a brand new KDP account tomorrow, I would not be an overnight success. It just doesn't happen. It takes time. Because it takes time for your books to grow into the algorithm, to build up reviews, and for you to add ultimately to your portfolio of books. Because it's a passive income model, the goal of Amazon KDP is just to be able to do pretty much nothing, and the books are constantly selling for you over time. But in order to get to that point, it literally just takes time for Amazon to know, okay, this book does well, let's push it even more. Oh, the reviews are increasing, let's push it even more. It just takes time to get to this point. So if you're doing Amazon KDP, you have to completely remove the expectation that you will make thousands per month in a couple of months, because although a small amount of you may do that, for 99% of you, that just won't happen. But if you're running your Amazon KDP business properly, then you can definitely start to see success within 6 to 12 months. Now, in my opinion, this is short term anyway. 12 months to build a successful business, honestly, for someone that's been doing it for 5 years, is absolutely no time at all. So if you're doing all the right things, like you're investing in your education, like I say, so you're learning directly from an expert who can actually help you on your way, you're investing in tools, you know what you're doing, you can easily be successful on Amazon KDP within 6 months. Now, one of my students has literally gone from $0 to $15,000 in his first 6 months. So that just shows you if you're doing the right thing, if you're investing in your education, you're investing in the right tools, and you're listening to someone who's actually been there and done it, you can be so successful in a short amount of time, but you're not going to be an overnight success. And I'll leave you with this: if you aren't prepared to give Amazon KDP at least 6 months worth of proper work and proper commitment, don't even start in the first place. Save yourself all the effort, save yourself the energy, just get an office job, because there is no business out there that you will be super successful within 6 months, and anybody promising you that is just trying to take your money. Businesses don't become successful overnight like that. They do take work. So if you're not prepared to put in that work, this isn't for you. Go and get an office job and just live that life instead. So there you go. Those are 5 of the most important lessons that I've learned along my entire Amazon KDP journey. I hope you found a lot of value from this. Honestly, if I had access to this video 5 years ago, it would have saved me so much time. I'd have been so much more successful in such a short period of time. But you can only learn from doing, and this is why I want to give all of this information out to you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please do leave a like and also subscribe for more Amazon KDP content. And if you want to take your publishing to the next level, like I say, my self-publishing accelerator school community can be found down below in the description. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.